I've been sitting with my thoughts at night, wondering how I got this low. I talk to God, but the words fall quiet, like I'm speaking into the unknown. I replay every wrong decision, every door I watch close. I thought maybe God moved on, left me here to deal alone. I've been tired of being strong, tired of holding on to faith. Every step feels like I'm drowning in mistakes I can't escape. But in the middle of my breaking, when I thought I was alone, there was a presence in the silence that reminded me I'm not on my own. God never left the room, even when I lost my way. Every tear, every prayer, He was there the whole time. When the darkness filled the space and I couldn't see the truth, even when I felt abandoned, God never left the room. I thought silence meant rejection, thought an answer meant no, but God was doing something deeper than my heart could ever know. He was teaching me to listen, not for thunder, not for fire, but for the gentle, steady whisper that still speaks into the wire. What I called a little distance was God holding me in place, protecting me from things I couldn't see, covering me with grace. When I reached the end of myself, with no strength left to pretend, I realized God didn't leave me. He was waiting for me to bend. God never left the room, even when I lost my way. Every tear, every prayer, He was there the whole time. When the darkness threw the space and I couldn't see the truth, even when I felt abandoned, God never left the road. I see now in the rearview mirror, but I couldn't see back then. God was closer to my breaking than He ever was in strength. The floor I thought I was falling through was where He met me low. The place I called my ending was a place He chose to grow. Faith doesn't always shine, sometimes it barely breathes, but even fragile faith is enough for God to move in. If you're sitting in a silence, asking where God's been, if your heart feels tired of hoping and you're close to giving in, let this truth fall on you gently, let it quiet all your fear. God was there in every moment, even when He felt unclear. The room you call abandonment is holy ground in disguise. God never leaves His children, He never says goodbye. God never left the room, not in your darkest night. When you felt unseen and unheard, He was still by your side. Every tear you could have loved, every doubt you went through, even when you felt forgotten, God never. I'm learning now to trust inside us, not His absence, but His care. God does His deepest feeling in the quiet of despair. What felt like God stepping back wasn't holding me tight, teaching me. I was standing on the edge of myself, running out of reasons to stay. Every prayer felt stuck in the ceiling. Every night felt longer than the day. I carried the weight of the world on my shoulders, pretending that I was still strong. But deep down my heart was screaming, wondering where I went wrong. I tried to be brave, tried to believe, but fate felt heavy in my hands. And all I could see were the broken pieces of dreams I couldn't understand. When my strength was finally gone and I had nothing left to hold, in the silence of my breaking, I felt a whisper in my soul. This is not the end. God is not giving up on you. Even when it feels like everything is over, He's still working through the truth. The last tear is not the final word. Heaven hasn't stopped moving yet. When the world says there's no more hope, God says this is not the end. I thought I was buried forever, left behind, forgotten, alone. But even in the deepest darkness, God knew exactly where I was thrown. Every tear I cried in secret, every fear I couldn't say, He was counting every heartbeat, never turned His face away. What I call my greatest failure was the place where mercy found me. What I thought was the end of my story was the start of something holy. At the bottom of my surrender, with no strength to pretend, I didn't reach Him to find Him. He reached down and took my hand. This is not the end. God is not giving up on you. Even when it feels like everything is over, He's still working through the truth. The last year is not the final word. Heaven hasn't stopped moving yet. When the world says there's no more hope, God says this is not the end. I see now what I couldn't before, that the waiting wasn't wasted time. God was shaping something stronger in the middle of my pride. He was teaching my heart to trust, not in answers, not in signs, but in His presence in the valley and His promise beyond the light. Every scar became a testimony, every tear became a seed. When it felt like God was silent, it was Him rebuilding me. If you're standing where I stood, feeling like you can't go on, if your heart is tired of fighting and the night feels way too long, listen closely in the silence. You're not as far as you feel. God is closer than you're breathing, and His love is still real. The pit is not your destination, it's the place of transformation. God does His deepest miracles in moments of desperation. This is not the end. God is not giving up on you. What looks like death in your hands is where He's making something new. The last tear, not the final word. Your story's far from finished yet. When the world says it's all over, God says this is not the end. I'm standing now on different ground, still healing, but I can see that God was faithful in the waiting, even when I couldn't believe. Yeah, the same God who found me broken is the God who makes me whole. He didn't just save my future, He restored my soul. What I lost was not in vain, what I thought was gone forever got replaced for something greater, because He always makes it better. This is not the end. God is not giving up on you. Every promise He has spoken, He is faithful to come through. The last year is not the final word. Your pain does not define you, and everything says it's over now. woke up tired of pretending that I'm stronger than I feel, smiling through the cracks in my heart, trying to hide what's real. Every step feels heavier now, every prayer feels hard to say. I keep asking God for answers, but the silence makes me afraid. I've been holding on to pieces of a life I barely know, wondering if all this breaking is all I'll ever hold. But even when my faith is shaking and my hope feels paper thin, there's a God who sees my breaking, and He's not done with me yet. God is still writing your story. This pain is not the final page. What feels like the end of everything is where His grace takes shape. The tears you cry in the darkness are now wasted, not unseen. If you're breathing, there's still purpose. God is still writing a story. Yeah, I thought I missed my moment, thought I waited far too long, watching others move ahead while I'm still barely holding on. I blame myself for every failure, for every door that closed. I thought my broken choices disqualified my hope. But God doesn't write like humans. He's not bound by time or fear. What I thought was permanent loss, He's been healing year by year. In the middle of my way, when I felt misunderstood, God was working behind the scenes, turning ashes into good. God is still writing your story. This pain is not the final place. What feels like the end of everything is where His grace takes shape. The tears you cry in the darkness are now wasted, not unseen. If you're breathing, there's still purpose. God is still writing your story. Some nights I feel forgotten, like heaven lost my own name. But even when I can't feel Him, God is still the same. He's closer than my heartbeat, nearer than my fear. Even when I don't believe it, His presence is right here. What looks like slow progress is faith being rebuilt. God doesn't rush the healing, He restores what pain has killed. If you feel like giving up, if your strength is almost gone, if your heart is tired of fighting and the night feels way too long, let this truth fall on you softly. You are not too far, too late. God still specializes in miracles that rise from broken states. Your valley is not your ending, your weakness is not your name. God does His greatest work in places marked by pain. God is still writing your story. He hasn't turned the page. What feels like delay or silence, you see Him rearranging grace. Every tear holds a promise, every scar will speak one day. If you're still here, He's still working. God is still writing a story. I see now through different eyes what I couldn't see before. God was teaching me to trust Him, not the outcome, not the door. What I lost did not destroy me, it prepared my heart to see that the greatest gift God gives us is who we're meant to be. I'm not healed, but I am healing. I'm not done, but I am free, because God never is still right in your life. I've been trying to stay strong for so long, even when my heart feels weak. I learned how to smile through the pain and cry when no one sees. Every day feels like a battle, just to get out of bed. I replay all the things I've lost over and over in my head. I ask myself if I still matter, if my prayers still reach the sky, or if God stopped listening to the questions that I cry. But even when my faith is quiet and my hope feels far away, there's a God who sees me breaking, and He hears every word I say. You are not forgotten. God has never let you back. Even in the darkest valley, He has always known. Every tear you cry in silence, every pain you can't explain, is held inside His hands of mercy. You are not forgotten. I've been carrying regrets like the chains around my soul. Mistakes I wish I could erase, moments I can't control. I thought my past defined me, that my failure spoke too loud. But God sees more than broken choices. He sees a heart bowed down. I thought I ran out of chances, thought I crossed the line too far. But grace doesn't count like humans, it meets us where we are. When I had no strength to reach Him and no faith left to pretend, God stepped into my weakness and reminded me again. You are not forgotten. God has never let you go. Even in the darkest valley, He is always known. Every tear you cried in silence, every pain you can't explain, held inside His hands of mercy. You are not forgotten. Some nights feel endless, like the morning won't arrive. I hold on to simple breathing just to feel alive. But even in the waiting, God is closer than I feel. He's working in the stillness, healing wounds I can't yet heal. What looks like abandonment is not the truth at all. God is writing redemption in places marked by fall. If you feel invisible, like your prayers are falling down, if you think the world moved on and forgot your name somehow, listen closely to this moment, let it settle in your soul. God never forgets His children, you were never out of control. The valley is not your enemy, the pain is not your home. God does His deepest work when you feel most alone. You are not forgotten. God is closer than you feel. Even when you can't feel Him, He is still right here. Every tear you cry in silence, every night you feel the pain, is wrapped inside His perfect timing. You are not forgotten. I'm learning how to trust again. Not in answers, not in sight, but in a God who walks with me through the darkest nights. I don't have it all together, I still have days I break, but God doesn't leave His children when their hearts still ache. What I thought was God delaying was Him teaching me to stand, not by my own understanding, but by faith in His hand. You are not forgotten. The story's not erased. God remembers every promise, every tear, every face. The pain will turn to purpose, the night will bow to dawn. If you're still breathing, keep believing. sitting with my thoughts at night, wondering how I got this low. I talk to God, but the words fall quiet, like I'm speaking into the unknown. I replay every wrong decision, every door I watch close. I thought maybe God moved on, left me here to deal alone. I've been tired of being strong, tired of holding on to faith. Every step feels like I'm drowning in mistakes I can't escape. But in the middle of my breaking, when I thought I was alone, there was a presence in the silence that reminded me I'm not on my own. God never left the room, even when I lost my way. Every tear, every prayer, He was there the whole time. When the darkness filled the space and I couldn't see the truth, even when I felt abandoned, God never left the room. I thought silence meant rejection, thought an answer meant no, but God was doing something deeper than my heart could ever know. He was teaching me to listen, not for thunder, not for fire, but for the gentle, steady whisper that still speaks into the wire. What I call delay or distance was God holding me in place, protecting me from things I couldn't see, covering me with grace. When I reached the end of myself, with no strength left to pretend, I realized God didn't leave me, He was waiting for me to beg. God never left the room, even when I lost my way. Every tear, every prayer, He was there the whole time. When the darkness filled this place and I couldn't see the truth, even when I felt abandoned, God never left. I see now in the rearview mirror what I couldn't see back then. God was closer in my breaking than He ever was in strength. The floor I thought I was falling through was where He met me low. The place I called my ending was the place He chose to grow. Faith doesn't always shout, sometimes it barely agrees, but even fragile faith is enough for God to move in me. If you're sitting in the silence, asking where God's been, if your heart feels tired of hoping and you're close to giving in, like this truth fall on you gently, let it quiet all you feel. God was there in every moment, even when He felt unclear. The room you call abandonment is holy ground in His stars. God never leaves His children, He never says goodbye. God never left the room, not in your darkest night, when you felt unseen and unheard. He was still by your side. Every tear you cried alone, every doubt you went through, even when you felt forgotten, God never left the room. I'm learning now to trust His silence, not His absence but His care. God does His deepest healing in the quiet